Hi there! In this video we're going to make this swooshy looking fox thing using my favorite tool, the Shape Builder tool. Look at him, he's all made of little shapes and bits and pieces. Okay, let's put you back together, Fox, and let's go learn how to make you in Adobe Illustrator. Okay, so let's start with a new document. File new, you can use US letter landscape or A4 landscape, it doesn't matter. Click on create, and we're going to bring in the little drawing we're going to copy from. Okay, so let's save this document, file save, and let's put it on our desktop in our Illustrator class files. Let's call this one Awake Fox. And let's click OK. Let's bring in the image we're going to redraw. Okay, we're going to go to File, Place. And we're going to use in our exercise files, there's one called awakefox.jpg. And remember, like in a previous tutorial, we could just bring it in and put it on its own layer and lock it and turn the transparency down. You can do that all in one fell swoop by just clicking this template as you bring it in. And remember, watch this, it's created two layers. One's a template layer and you can't touch it. Okay, and they've dimmed it down so you can draw on it easily. And we're working on layer one. Let's go back to properties. Now, there is no real particular order to start this, but you might as well follow me. Okay, so let's start with, say, the polygon tool. And if we click once, we're going to make sure it says 3 sides. We're not too worried about the radius at the moment. Just click OK. And what we can do is black arrow, holding shift, drag it out to the right size and rotate it around. Okay, we did rotation and scale in an earlier tutorial. Okay, I'm going to get it roughly in there. Now, you'll notice that it tries to snap to the edge of the page and like lots of those purple arrows. That's really handy. Sometimes it's just nice to get it close and use your arrow keys on your keyboard. Okay, just to kind of tap it around with the keyboard to get it kind of close. I'm happy with that. And what I'd like to do is have no fill and a black stroke. So I've got my black stroke. If you don't, click on stroke, click black, fill color. Let's go for no fill color. Now, I'm not sure which part to start with. I'm going to start with the ears here. So I'm going to grab and hold down the polygon tool, and grab the ellipse tool. And I'm going to draw an ellipse. Just holding down shift, remember, gets a perfect circle. If I let go of shift, it can get a weird shape. It's up to you what you want to do. I'm going to start with perfect circles. Something like that, black arrow. Remember, I can't click the center because it has no fill. So I'm going to click the edge and kind of drag it. And you can kind of see, I'm going to use it maybe for that one, and it's a bit big. I'm just resizing it until I get something close to that part. Using my keyboard to tap it around again. Cool, so that'll do. I'm going to copy it and paste it and then move it up. So I've got it kind of here as well. Okay, I think I used a slightly smaller one. There we go. Even smaller than that. I'm trying to match that circle in there. That will do. Cool, all right. So next thing I'd like to do is start using my Shape Builder tool. So I'm going to select everything. Okay, so my black arrow, select everything on the page, and I'm going to move to my Shape Builder tool. Now what I want to do is, I don't want to add any of these guys. I want to subtract this chunk up here that I don't need. Now, who remembers what the shortcut is? That's right, it's Option on a Mac or Alt on a PC. Okay, hold it down, you see I get a minus, and I can drag across all of that. Click on him. You can see I can kind of minus those chunks off. I want to leave that because that's going to be the kind of white of the nose. These guys though they're doing some weird stuff. So I'm going to join them all. Remember, holding no keys down will add. Okay, I'm going to add all that to it. I'm going to minus that off. I'm going to minus that off. And yeah, that's kind of the basics for it. All right, I'm going to grab my black arrow. And what do I want to do now is I want the other ear. So I'm just going to copy it, paste it. So I've got another version. This guy here, I can't quite remember. I don't know. I'm going to rotate it around a little bit. Awesome. Cool. So I've got another set of ears back here. Maybe not so much rotation. Cool. Now with everything selected, again, let's grab the Shape Builder tool. And that bit's perfect. Now I just want to join these together. That bit there. Now the nose got all kind of disjointed with all these little bits. You might have to zoom in a little bit. Remember, Command plus or Control plus. And I'm going to join all of that together so it's one unit. Now it starts looking a bit hard because you're like, what is the drawing underneath and which is mine? You might go to layers and turn this on and off just to get a sense of what it is. So the only thing I'm really missing is the circle for the eye. So let's do that. Grab the ellipse tool, drag this out. Why am I dragging it up here? No reason. I'm going to drag it down here. Habit. Move it around, select all of this chunk. And I'm going to grab this Shape Builder tool, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I want to add all of that together. that kind of worked. Cool. All right, off on that bottom layer, it's looking good. Now we just need the neck. I'll zoom out a little bit and grab an ellipse tool. Try and draw a circle big enough for that outside bit. Holding shift, that feels about right. All right, nope, that's way too big. Hold it down. Remember grabbing the edge, not the center of the circle. So I've got him, and there's one stripe, two stripes. So I'm gonna copy and paste him, and I'll use that one. Yeah, he's roughly the right size. Paste another one. Actually, I don't need to paste another one. There's only two there. Okay. Don't need that guy. Go away. All right, so I am now gonna select it all, grab my shape builder tool, and I'm gonna say, don't want you, don't want you. Oh, actually, I do want you. There's the ellipse there. Why did I delete that one? I do need it. Okay, so there was a circle that I was missing. You probably saw it while you were doing it. I went, no. There it is there. We do need 3 circles. Now, one of the things is going to happen here, if I zoom in, okay, and scroll up here, holding my space bar, you see it doesn't kind of line up here. To make the shape builder work kind of nicely, you need to overlap everything. So I'm zoomed in, and it's just easier when you've zoomed in. Okay, now I'm going to grab the edge, and you'll just try and get it to snap in there. It's reasonably forgiving. It doesn't have to be absolutely scientifically perfect, but reasonably close, a couple of pixels. Now I'm going to select it all. I'm going to grab my shape builder tool, and I'm going to say, I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I don't want that. I don't need that. I don't need that. And I'm going to come in here. What I might do now is turn off the template, because I kind of know those two I want. Those two I want. If you're finding it a little bit tough, don't worry. It is a little bit tough trying to work out. You end up deleting the wrong bits. Like there's a chunk through here. I'm going to add you guys together. Black arrow, select the background. Yeah, we're pretty close. Okay, there's some weird strokes going on that are different sizes. There's a thin one there and a thick one there. I'm going to select them all and say properties, and I'm going to give them all the same stroke width of this 0.25 points. Okay, just a really thin one to get us going. All right, that is looking good. If you find you've got like kind of junk in the nose, like there's a little trim bit, just zoom in, use your shape builder tool to try and tidy it up. You might even use your black arrow, just click bits and delete it. Okay, now what I want to do is go and color it. Now I'm going to put in a nice big gray background. I don't know why, everything looks better on a dark gray background. I'm just drawing a nice big rectangle. I'm going to fill it with our dark gray. Okay, and I'm going to have no stroke on it. I'm going to click arrange, send it to the back, and now I'm going to fill this with color. Okay, and there's a couple of ways of filling it. I can just click the edges, okay, and go and fill it, or I could use the shape builder technique like we did in the last video. It's up to you. And yeah, I'm going to go pick colors, foxy colors. Okay, I'm going to mix my own. I'm going to click on the mixer, okay, where I've got my object selected. I've clicked on fill, I've clicked on mixer, and I'm going to click down here to try and find a foxy color. Okay, that's going to be my kind of lead color. I'll pick this one, click on fill. I'm going to use the premix color and just make it a bit darker by grabbing the K and lifting it up a little bit. Cool. I'm going to use this kind of back of the head bit by doing the same sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to use that, but lighten it up. Okay, go even lighter. Cool. This bit here is going to be just, should be white. Maybe I'm going to use just like an off-white because it looks cool. Same with you. And off-white. All right, I'm going to select it all as well. Okay, now if I select all of it, okay, I'm going to end up with the background selected as well. And that's fine because I want to go to stroke and I want to say none of you's got a stroke. Thank you very much. And that is our cool little fox thing. All done with the shape builder tool. Get some nice kind of swooshes and swirls, and it's kind of flowy. Okay, those are words I'm just making up, but you get the idea, right? It's this kind of nice swooshy thing. So now it is time for the end and the time for the class project. So what I've done is I've done another sketch that you can use that I want you to go through and use the same techniques from the fox, but we're going to use so new document, use file, place, and you're going to bring in this one called swan. Yes, that's meant to be a swan. Okay, I drew it, kind of looked like a swan, kind of a chunky swan. You're allowed to, it doesn't have to be perfect like this. I guess what I want to see is a better swan, nice colors. Yeah, it's totally up to you. You can draw it perfectly if you like. Okay, but using the same tools as we did using the shape builder tool and the fox, okay, I'd like you to go off and do the swan. And again, I'd like to see your projects. All right, that is it for this video. Let's get on to the next one. Actually, no, you're gonna go off and start doing your homework. Draw the swan, make him better. All right, see you in the next video though.